I wanted to ask you briefly about you met Michael Jackson briefly, the Brady Kids did, and then you had Farrah on the variety show.
Actually, we more than met Michael Jackson. He was sort of a friend.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I only had one outing with him. We went ice skating. Michael and Marlon and Randy and Maureen and Eve and me.
Maureen talks about that in her book.
Yes, and so it was an intimate date between she and Michael. She had a crush on Jermaine.
Oh, that's funny.
But she used to go to the house and stuff. She knew him way better than me, and I think Chris Knight stayed in touch with Michael. And I remember Maureen saying to me that Michael Jackson wants your number, Susie. Maureen is the only person allowed on the planet to call me Susie because I can't get her to stop. No, I mean, I love her to pieces, but it's like, she wrote on her blog, she's calling me Susie. I'm like,
only you.
Well, it's better than Cindy.
There you go. Yeah. There you go.
But, and anyway, I mean, Michael was wonderful. He was very, very, very nice guy. He was friends with us. We liked him so much because he was so normal. That's exactly why we liked him. He was completely unfazed by celebrity.
Wow.
He was like sunshine. He had such a lovely personality.
That's great to hear.
Yeah, very humble. I mean, I remember asking him, who does your choreography? Because you sure dance good. You don't dance like us white folk. And he says, choreographer, man, those guys spread. We do it ourselves. So it was very
really, that's great. So it was, that was back in the era of the Brady Kids were doing music.
Right,
so was that kind of like, oh yeah, we do that touring musical show?
Well,
I apologize.
it's like I remember Mike Lookinland and I kind of talking about, because the reason we met was on a special that we were doing because we had a cartoon show coming out that year. They had a cartoon show. Yeah. The Osmonds were touring. We were supposed to be like the Jackson 5 or the Osmonds, except with no talent. And
just like Disney.
We should have been a Disney franchise. And I remember looking at it and I talking and going, the big difference, because we knew we were just a big hype machine.
Yeah.
And I was like, listen to Michael Jackson, listen to him. He's really good. I mean, that guy is really good. And you watch me, look at him dance. Yeah, well, look at all of them. All of them. I was really glad to see Jermaine sing at Michael's funeral because, remember, it's a talented family. There's so many gifted people in that family.
I don't think anyone in that family can sing.
No, I don't think that you're allowed to. I think that those children were drowned at an early age.
So here was Michael Jackson, this normal kid, and did it shock you to see everything he was sucked into years later?
Yeah, it did because I really always, and I'm not going to pretend that I knew him because I hate when people do that. Somebody dies, the person's dead. Can you imagine being dead and having all these people going, well, we were very close. It's like, no, we weren't. I didn't even know you. I didn't like you. Yeah. But I really felt like, he was so innocent. And he was such a naive, sweet guy that when I started to see what was happening to his face and everything, I thought, the bad people are getting to him. I wish that I had gotten in touch with him, though. I really wish I did. That's one regret I have. But I didn't want to be one of those people trying to get to Michael. And what I gather now is that he was really open to seeing people that he had known when he was a kid. So we probably would have gotten along like crazy. He would have loved what I'm doing with the kittens, the foster parenting.
You would have been with him with Emmanuel Lewis at some award shows.
Yeah, but remember, I was only 4 years younger than Michael, so I wouldn't have been like one of his children. Too.
Right.
But I would like to have gotten him into the online game Toontown. Because it was the first Morp that I ever played, and one of the first things I thought of was Michael Jackson should do this, because it would be the first time he could interact with people and nobody would know who he is. So I could have gotten him playing World of Warcraft, and he would never have written another piece of music.
And he could still be alive, darn it.
Well, and I'm not thinking that I could have saved his life or anything, but I think that if he had the time, we probably would have gotten along.
Gone Too Soon. And Gone Too Soon to Farrah.
Yeah.
You met her just
Farrah's
briefly?
somebody I absolutely did not know. I only worked with her that one day on the Variety Hour. But the vibe from her was like a little girl.
Really?
Like really sweet and innocent, and she was with Lee, and like everything was like Lee, like leaning on him a lot. And he seemed very protective, and she seemed very sweet and like a little girl.
There was something very little girlish about her and little boyish about Michael. I think that's kind of the thread.
Yeah, they're innocent. People who remain childlike, because I love people that remain childlike. I think it's a good way to be. But she was also a lot prettier in person.
Wow.
Which, if you can imagine, because she was so beautiful on the screen.
Yeah.
When I remember my mom had said, she goes, "Yeah, but you take away that hair, and what do you have?" And she goes, "I just met Farrah." She goes, "You take away that hair, you still have a gorgeous woman." She goes, "She would be beautiful if she was blonde."
Oh yeah. She did something really amazing with that documentary. What a way to. She got it. She got her celebrity. She understood.
She did, and it's a really important. Unfortunately, it's a terrible message, but keep your faith up. But it doesn't always work out.
Yeah, we're all mortal.
Yeah.